Okay, so, it's been a while since since I last did this video, and, when I last did this video, I said that I think I said I would eventually make a new one, and not only that, I did this in Season 9, I only had the guns that were currently in the game, so we're gonna do this today, where it's every gun ever added to the game, yeah, and I've updated this to like season 3, so we have like charged shotgun and all that, and I also have like other special items like Batman grapple and everything. So yeah, this should be interesting. Well, I think we should just get right into this because this is gonna take a while. So, the tiers we've got here, I didn't name this. I didn't. Okay, hold on. Let me just fix this real. Okay, it's been fixed. So, the tiers we've got here, starting from bottom, we've got, Piss Off. Now, this is for the weapons that are so stupidly terrible that they just shouldn't exist, because they are so stupidly terrible. We've got the WTF tier, which is for weapons that just don't use them because they're so bad. Just don't use them. Unlike the Piss Off tier, they function as a gun, they're just really bad at it. The Piss Off tier, they're so bad they don't function as a weapon. So we've got the okay early game tier, which is as it says, and then we've got just the all-around, just the good weapons, and then we've got the great weapons, which is S tier, and then at the very top we have tax fraud tier, which is so good that it's illegal. So let's begin here. First off, we've got the green to blue heavy assault rifle, which I put it separately from the gold heavy assault rifle. And actually, let me get Meowscles AK. Now, if we were talking about the AK back in Season 6, this would be an S tier, but we're not. We're talking about the gray to blue AK that's no longer in the game again. And I would say it's okay early game. Now, the reason I say this is because it got it got shot with a Nerf gun, and it is no longer what it used to be, and now the legendary AK is not even at that level either. I would say the legendary AK is good. It's not S tier by any means, but it's good. And I'd say the mythic AK, wherever it is, here it is. This is the mythic AK, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is the mythic AK. I'd say it's up there as well. It's not quite S tier, but it's still a really good weapon. Both of these are really good. This gun is just not fun. I hate this. It's okay early game. All right, and now we've got the AUG as it is now. So this is interesting. Let me just garner all the burst rifles here. So the 4 burst rifles. Now, this is going to be as they currently are. This is the Chapter 1 burst rifle, which is going to go in the WTF tier, because actually no, it can go in the Piss Off tier, because it's so terrible. It is so terrible. Stop. It's so bad. If you unironically use this in Chapter 1, I don't feel bad for you. There's something wrong with you if you actually use this gun. It was so bad. It had so much bloom on it. It was depressing to use because you couldn't hit shots no matter how accurate you were. The first shot accuracy only worked for 1 bullet, which I guess if it worked for all 3, it would be too overpowered, but it had too much bloom to be good. But anyway. And now we have the FAMAS as it is today. Now this is okay early game. And the reason I'm not putting it in good is because, well, this is the 2-round burst FAMAS, mind you. I'm not putting this in good because that's where I'm putting the AUG. Now, the AUG, as it used to be, with the 3-round burst would be S tier, but the FAMAS, as it used to be in 3-round burst, would also go down in the Piss Off tier, because it was the Chapter 1 burst rifle, basically. But the FAMAS in Season 4 was good. Burst rifles are confusing in this game. They were so awkward, but anyway. Oh, and Mythic 1 is great. Anyway, so the AUG is going in good because it's solid. It's the 2-round, but the 3-round burst was better for it because you could actually hit all 3 shots with first shot accuracy. Because not only was the first shot accuracy better on it, it would and it would reset every time you shot, like the revolver and the deagle would. But it was laser accurate, so you could hit all 3 shots. And this was also before the headshot damage nerf of SMGs and ARs. So yeah, so as it is now, it's good, and the FAMAS is okay early game, which I actually don't mind the FAMAS anymore. It's pretty solid. It hits good damage, and it's 2-round burst. They made it fire faster and it's a lot more accurate. So they're both good. This is only really good early game. You're gonna want to drop it for something else because the bloom reset's really bad on this. It's still better than it used to be though, and it's still better than this piece of actual garbage. Anyway, pistols. Okay, early game. They're really good, only good off spawn. And then we get to the other pistol, which I'm just gonna rank here anyway. It's actually really good. I'd put it in with these. I'd put it with the assault rifles, basically. It's definitely better than a gray and green AR. Blue ARs are where you might want to start taking an assault rifle, but this pistol has actual good bloom. It hits good damage and it has really good range. Alright, SMG. We'll just do this. Let's just rank all the SMGs. Suppressed SMG as it is right now has a lower fire rate and I think 22 damage on the blue or green. One of them has higher damage, lower fire rate, but it's also really accurate. It's not as good as it used to be. They just lowered the fire rate. That's all they did. So I'd say it's okay early game. You're not going to want to take it end game, but it's definitely solid early game. Burst SMG is just it's going in WTF. I hate this thing so much. It still functions better than this piece of garbage right here, but it's still really, really bad. It's really bad. So we'll just put it in WTF tier and call it a day. Rapid fire SMG is amazing. It's so good. It is so good. I don't really think I need to explain it. You've probably seen all the videos of people using it. It's so good. It is so good. I think it's probably the best SMG in the game, in my opinion. P90 is just, it's always been good since it got released. It was overpowered in Season 5, and I think it's still... Actually, no, it's not overpowered anymore. They just nerfed it. I should really put a tier in between this. There we go. Perfect. Great name for the tier. And I'm putting the P90 there. Let's edit this slightly. Mythic AK can go there. I think that's good. And this can go there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'd say all 3 of these are better than the pistol, but not as good as this. There we go. Okay, perfect. That's better. Alright. SMG is good. It's just an SMG. This thing was okay. It was good off spawn. And that was it. Now, I think the machine pistol is very similar to this. I know it hits similar damage. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's the exact same. I don't know if it's a reskin. I just know it wasn't meant to be in the game when it was in Solid Gold in Season X. That's all I know about this thing. I know it hit 15 damage for the gray one, and I think it went up to blue rarity, I'm not sure, but it wasn't in the game at any rarity aside from gray. So the gray one hit 15 damage, and I think it did 38 headshot, which is good. I don't know what the DPS is, so we'll just call it off-spawn viable, because realistically you wouldn't take this into endgame. I think that's fair. TAC SMG, do I put it in tax fraud? Because we have stuff on here like Brutus's mini... Okay, yeah, no. We'll keep it in great. It was pretty overpowered. It's on the level... I think the rapid fire is on the level of this thing. It's pretty strong. Snipers. Heavy sniper. It was great. And then they nerfed it, so it's going in between. It still one-shots builds, but you don't really need to do that, I guess. Because you can just... No, but you can jump into people's box like a crackhead. And that was really fun. So we'll put it in great. It was really fun. But it's not on the level of the TAC SMG overpowered, so we'll put it in between. VSS was good early game. Now, I thought this thing was really good, but it really wasn't that good. I would say it... Is it better than the semi-auto, though? I don't know. Because the semi-auto couldn't one-shot for a headshot, and this couldn't either. This did 197 at the highest rarity you could get it at. But, like, this was fully automatic, and it hit for, like, 88 headshot on the blue one, which was really good in my opinion. I thought this weapon was really good, but now that I look back, it isn't super amazing. It's definitely solid, but it was really only good early game. I think I'll put it in good, and I'll put the semi-auto in good early game. I don't know. Nah, I'll swap it over. It's hard to rank these two. I'll leave it like this. I still think the VSS was better than the semi-auto in my opinion, but that's whatever. Oh wow, we have a lot of snipers. Okay, Storm Scout. Actually, I'll rank the Bolt first because this is just a better Bolt sniper in my opinion. So Bolt, I would put in good, and then this I would put in between. Actually, I'll just name this solid. There we go, solid. So Storm Scout was a baby between the semi-auto and the Bolt sniper, where it had 6 bullets and it shot and you could shoot multiple times before reloading, but it also one-shot for a headshot, and on top of that you could see where the next storm circle is. So it was solid. It was a good gun. Hunting rifle, I'm putting this in great. It's so fun to use. I'm giving more points because it's fun, but it's just a good weapon. It is so fun to use. You can no-scope with it. It's the trick shot rifle is what I like to call it. Yeah. The Zapatron. I think we only have one gameplay clip of this, and it seemed pretty strong. There was no scope on it, but it is technically a sniper rifle. It just uses energy cells, which is ammo from Save the World. So but Save the World, you know what energy cells are. It takes energy cells. The only way you could get them from supply drops. It seemed pretty strong. I think if it's fully charged, you can hit 150 from any distance. It didn't look like there was damage drop off on it, and it hit scan, but you have to charge it up. So it seemed really good, but I'll put it in great just because it was hit scan. It was just the hit scan laser and it hit for 150. I'll put it in great. Actually, I should probably put it in tax fraud. You know what? This is gonna be our first tax fraud item. The Zapatron is worthy of tax fraud tier, according to myself. Suppressed Sniper, I think was slightly better than the Bolt, but I'm not. No. You couldn't one-shot somebody in a body shot for if they had 100 HP because it had 95 at Legendary, but the reload on it was super fast. So if you were really confident in your aim, you would take the Suppressed over the Bolt because it's still one-shot for a headshot. I'll put it in the same tier as the Bolt. I think that's good. Now, Brutus's minigun. There's no really arguing it. It's overpowered as hell. It's so dumb. It was so dumb to play against, and I hate that it was added to the game because it would shred through your builds. It would shred you, and then it would shred the rest of your family because it's so strong. I might as well shred through your computer and the monitor as well. So yeah, whatever. Boombo also tax. This is the normal Boombo, not TNT. We'll actually rank this next. Boombo, I'm just ranking this now, is also tax fraud tier. It was almost on par with hit scan, but not quite. It was in between hit scan and bullet drop because it was such a fast projectile that it was almost hit scan and did 100 damage and then like 115 or 130 for a body shot or like a direct hit because it was always a crit when you direct hit someone. You didn't have to headshot them, but it was really good. Maybe a headshot. Because the impact was 15, and I think if you headshot someone, the impact was 30, making it do 130 and then 115 for a normal body shot. I think that's how it worked, and it was really, really strong. Because you could just hit it near them, and they would still take just 100 damage. Like, it was so strong. And now the Kaboombo from TNTina, it was solid. Nowhere near as strong as the... Actually, no, we'll put this in good. Because it had the recharging shots, and you had only 5 shots, and then it would have to recharge. I think it was like 1 every 30 or 60 seconds or something stupid, or 45, I don't know. It felt like a long time. So you have to use it sparingly, because you couldn't spam it. So, and it did 75 damage, and I think the direct hits did more, but if the splash damage is less, then the weapon's much, much worse. Because it was 25 less damage, which is a big deal. So I think it's good. It was underrated because it was still a really good weapon. Actually, yeah, I'll put it in solid because it was still a really good weapon. I would always use it. It was underrated in my opinion. Now, the tac shotgun. As it is now, the gray to blue shotgun is good early game. They nerfed it so much. I'll say this, I always say it and I'll say it again. They nerfed it to the point where it's about as powerful as hitting someone with an expired Tootsie Roll. You like throw it at them and look, 30 damage. Oh, that's more than what your tac shotgun is gonna do. It's so dumb. I don't know why they nerfed it so much. No, I do know why they nerfed it, because they added the charge shotgun. And if they didn't nerf the tac shotgun, then everyone would have just gravitated towards that. I have both tac shotguns on here, I think. If I can find it, yeah, okay. So, the gray to blue tac is good early game. It's not quite WTF tier, but it's better than that. And then I'll put the gold tac at good. They really hit it hard. Like, the headshot damage on the gold tac used to be 187 at close range, at point blank range. And now it's maximum 124, which is a 60 damage drop. And that's a lot, because they reduced the headshot multiplier by a ton, so it hits like a wet noodle. It's so bad, I hate it. Maybe it's just that I suck, but I absolutely hate the tac shotgun. I cannot use this thing. It's so terrible, in my opinion. But it's not terrible on par with Burst SMG. It's just terrible compared to what it used to be. They nerfed this a lot, so I'm putting it like that. I'll put the gold tac in solid, because you can use it, but I also don't think it's as good as those. So, but yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it in good, and then I'll rank the charge shotgun next. All three of them. So, the normal charge shotgun is good. It's on par with that. The gray charge shotgun does more damage than the gold tac. And an uncharged shot, I think, headshot does more than the gray to blue tac. It's so dumb. But it only has 3 shots, so you have to be accurate. It's definitely a really hard gun to use, and it has a high skill ceiling, but it's really strong. And now the epic and legendary one is solid, and the mythic one is great. It just climbs up every tier. Actually, no, I'd put these both in great, and then I don't want to quite put that in tax fraud, because I'd say we'll do this. We'll keep these in the same tier. It's definitely better, but it's not overpowered. This shotgun is by no means overpowered. They're both going to stay in great, because it's just a good weapon. Now, the combat shotgun, I'm putting it up there too. I actually think this thing was overpowered, and I don't really think I need to explain this too much. It's going to be a different ranking than my last tier list on weapons, because it was broken at that time, I think. I don't know, but yeah, this thing is busted OP. It's so stupid. And now the infantry rifle. I'll just rank them both. Now, I'm gonna pull a wacky, and I'm gonna do this. So, we've got Daniel, and then we've got the cooler Daniel. Now, this ranking is by no means of strength. It is specifically on the reload. This has a clip, or a magazine or whatever, and this makes a cool noise. So I'm putting this higher, and also I want to add it back into the game. That'd be really cool. But yeah, they're really, really good. This one has a cool reload sound. So actually, because of the reload sound, I'm putting in tax fraud. I don't care. Shut up. The reload sound is really cool in the M1 Garand. It's going in tax fraud. It's so good. Actually, you know what? It's so good, in fact, that I'm just gonna. There we go. All right, I think that's good. So now we have the crossbow. It was good early game, and that's it. This hit the same amount of damage as the semi-auto sniper, so that actually makes me want to put this up a tier, and this down a tier. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do that. I think that's fair. No, because it's not as good as that. This is complicated. I'll put this in WTF. Like, actually, what the hell is this thing? It's so dumb. There you are. You're in piss off tier. I still think I still like it more than the burst, to be honest. I just have a vendetta against the stupid burst rifle, but whatever. Double barrel shotgun. I don't know where to rank this. I wasn't necessarily bad with it, but I wasn't good with it either, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't know where to rank this because I don't know if it's good. Because it was super close up, but it hit for like one shot did 180 damage or something at point blank range. It was ridiculous. It was really strong, but you had to be point blank range. But it was definitely good. I'll put it in solid. I think that's fair. I haven't used it in a while, but I think it was definitely a solid weapon. Now, Deadpool's pistols, they were good early game. They should have made them better. They should have given it actual headshot damage. I don't know what the headshot multiplier on them was, but the actual pistols did, like, good damage. Not even actually. Like, no, they did. It's not like they did bad damage. The headshot damage on them was terrible. So you wouldn't want to take it to your endgame because it didn't do enough damage and DPS was not that good on them. And the reload time was really long. But it healed you, but they weren't that good. These pistols were kind of terrible, actually. But you could make them work off spawn, and that was it. Now the hand cannon. The cooler Daniel of the hand cannons. I'm putting it in solid. Actually, I'll put it in solid because I have space reserved for good, and it's definitely not as good as the hand cannon, which I'll do right now. Actually, I'll do all three revolvers. The third one, there you are. All right, OG revolver. This is my favorite gun in the game when it was out, and then it was kind of just taken up by this because it's better. I'll put them both in good. I think that's actually no. I'll put revolver in early game, and this is actually kind of good, and you could take it to end game. It was a solid weapon and it hit good damage. Sculpt revolver. I don't know what happened to this thing. It was so bad upon release, and I don't know. It just didn't feel like you could hit anything. I don't know. I really didn't like this. I would put the revolver in good, and I would put this in solid, and no, I'll keep these in the same tier. This was okay early game because the hipfire wasn't bad on it, but even then, this is just better. So the scope revolver is a worse revolver in my opinion, and even a worse hand cannon because the scope was unnecessary on it. You didn't need it. It also did a substantially less damage than a normal revolver too. So I'll actually just put this in WTF. This thing was so terrible. It was really, really bad. The normal revolver was just so much better than it in my opinion. And now I guess we're doing the drum guns then. Let's get all these up here. So, drum gun from Season 9. Because the Season 5 drum gun was a different gun. And it was better than both of these actually. So the Season 9 drum gun is what we're ranking this as. I would put it in good. It was solid. I'll put this in tax rod tier. I'm tempted to put Jules in S tier, but I don't know. The DPS on it's like 204, which is good. But Midas's drum gun had 250 DPS, but in between that, there's all those weapons, which I think are better. And plus the P90 I think might work better than the drum gun that we have now. But actually no, they just nerfed the P90, so I think this would be better in S tier. Drum shotgun was okay early game. It really wasn't that great. You're not gonna take this into end game. You would literally hit like 18 damage over and over and over and over. It was a weird gun. It was good early. It was definitely really good early game because not many people had shield. But if your opponent had full shield and you had a drum shotgun, they had like a pump or something, you're dead. You wouldn't be able to put out enough damage. So yeah, it was good early game. And now dual pistols were good. We'll put them in good because they were definitely better than those. They're definitely better than those pistols because they actually had headshot damage. I think they did like 80 headshots. They were really good. But the only thing I didn't like about these was the bloom. You wouldn't take them to endgame, but they were good, but they weren't just good early game. So we'll just put them in good and call it a day. First order blaster. I never really used this when it was out, So I knew it overheated. It did like 30 damage. It really wasn't that good. I'll just put it in okay early game. Because I can, I guess. I'll just put it there. Flint knock. I'm just gonna put it in solid. It was so fun. So I'm giving extra points there too. It was really fun. It was actually a solid killing tool too. So yeah, why not? Jules glider gun. I don't really know why I have this in the Batman grapple in here. Or the grappler. Why do they use none of these are guns? Kind of. Alright, whatever, I'll rank them. These are like the exact same thing. I don't know which one's better. But I'm gonna rank this one higher because the Batman grapple I think is cooler than the Ohm in my opinion, but I'm gonna put these in great. I'm ranking the Batman grapple higher than Jules glider gun because I like the glider more. This is the infinite grappler. I'll put that in S tier, and then the normal grappler I'll put in solid. Guided missile was so much fun. I'm gonna put it in S tier just because it was super fun. I remember hitting trick shots with this. Harpoon gun. I don't know, whatever. I'll just put it in solid, whatever. Heavy shotgun. I don't know what they did to this thing, but holy, I don't know what they did to this. It does not feel the same. It feels so bad. I don't know what they did to it, but they slapped this thing with a nerf. I don't know when, I don't know why, but it does not feel like the heavy shotgun that we used to have at all. Infinity Blades going in tax fraud, obviously. So lightsabers, they're realistically, I guess you could kind of get into boxes with it, but I don't care. They were fun to use, we'll call it. I'll just put it in solid, whatever. LMG. Okay. So the LMG was literally the OG drum gun, or Midas's drum gun, which does 25 damage, but this also did 25 damage. It was a drum gun with more bloom and a bigger mag. Is it tax fraud? It might be tax fraud. I'm gonna put the LMG in tax fraud. Now the minigun, I'm just gonna put in great. It was stupid. Not nearly as good as Brutus's minigun, but it was still really good. So I'll just leave it there. I'm not gonna bother talking about it. It's a minigun. You know what it is. You played against it if you played Season 2. Sky's assault rifle, I'll put in great as well. It's Sky's assault rifle. I mean, normal grenade launcher was really good. If you could use it properly and arc it really well, it was really good. Proximity grenade launcher was solid. Quad launcher was... I'm just gonna put it in tax fraud. It was so dumb. It was so... No, I'm reserving a spot for tax fraud. That will go in great. I'll get to the snowball launcher in a second. RPG is also great. They actually made it really rare. I don't know if they nerfed it. I think they just made it rare and only for Marauders. But anyway. Oh, the holy grail of tax fraud. I think this might be the most... Okay, no. One of the most annoying things they've ever added. The most recent snowball launcher. Oh my god. Okay, so not only did they not nerf the damage on it, if they were going to change it like this, they didn't nerf the damage. It had the same projectile speed, but it was impact. It was an impact grenade launcher that did however much damage the grenade launcher did or the snowball launcher did. It was so stupid, and it made me not want to play during the Christmas event. It was so painfully overpowered, and I think am I like the only person that thinks that? Yeah, I just remember this thing being an impact grenade launcher and being supremely overpowered and making me not want to play the game. It was so dumb. I hate this thing. I'm sorry. I hate it. I hate it. I will never forgive the snowball launcher for being painfully overpowered. Alright. Assault rifles, because that's where we are. Suppressed pistol was actually... It was underrated. I'll put it in good. I think it was actually on par with the purple pistol. I'll put it in good. Assault rifles. They're all solid realistically. Oh wait, 6-shooter. Whatever. Yeah, realistically they're all solid. They're all solid. Yeah, they're all just so good. I love all the assault rifles. They're amazing. I hate this thing so much. If it coexisted with smoke grenades, it would be good, because it would have a purpose. But the thermal scope was pointless, and I absolutely hate... 6-shooter was... It was okay early game. I don't know, the 6-shooter, it wasn't that good. It was really cool, but it wasn't that good. Now, the new flare gun. I actually really like this. It has great utility, and it's actually a decent killing tool. It does 60 damage, and it sets everything on fire as well, so that's fun. I like that mechanic a lot. I'll put it in solid. It's really fun to use as well. I really like it. It's one of my favorite things they've added to the game. It's so much fun to use. And I guess the last thing on here is the mythic goldfish. I don't know, whatever. I'll just put it in tax fraud because I can. There's 200 damage. You can one-shot. No, you can't one-shot build with it. It does 200 damage. It's a throwable item. It's technically a weapon. Whatever. It's there. It's there. It's really rare to get. You already know what this thing is. But yeah. Well, that'll be our tier list. I think, obviously it's my opinion, but I think I did pretty good. You can see the weapons at the bottom that I have a vendetta against, because they're stupid and I hate them. But overall, I think the tier list is pretty good. Now, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a subscribe. You get the point. Yeah. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like it, dislike the video. Only like the video if you enjoy the content. Helps me out. Helps me with the algorithm. I don't do begging sections. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just monkey see monkey doing this. Anyway, that was the tier list. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. I might do a consumables, throwables tier list. I don't know. I'll do a meds tier list. Which shield potion is better than the other? I don't know. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. I don't know what my plans are. I'll probably not upload for 2 months because that's what I have apparently a habit on doing. Whatever. I'll see you in the next one. See ya, gamers.
Yo, I gotta get one thing straight. You gotta tell me this shit, though. Why your girl bum? I don't wanna pop my goddamn trunk. I don't wanna smoke myself with a skunk. I don't wanna push myself out of love. Got good brain, but I'm dumb. Think I got a diamond ring, I'll put it on my thumb. Think I gotta ask your girl where she from. Think I gotta pipe your thought, then I run.